Welcome to another Odds HQ NBA betting preview video for Saturday, September the 5th. I'm Ian Cameron. It is Game 2 of the Western Conference Semifinals. The Denver Nuggets, Los Angeles Clippers. LA Clippers, 9-point favorites in Game 2 Saturday night, 222 the total. The Clippers, I cashed a ticket with them in Game 1, and I talked about that game on Thursday's NBA betting preview video. The Clippers were laying, well, they opened 6, got bet up all the way to the 9 that we currently see them laying here in Game 2. And after a quick start in the first quarter from Denver, that was about it for them after that first quarter. Clippers took over, suffocated the Nuggets, swarming, stifling defense for pretty much the last 3 quarters. They take over the game and they win going away comfortably, 120-97 over the Denver Nuggets. We talked about it on Thursday. I did on the video about how it would be a difficult spot for Denver coming off the 7-game series against Utah, that emotional, gut-wrenching, down to the wire Game 7 to seal that series. And there's no doubt the Denver Nuggets were feeling it. No question in Game 1. They just didn't have their shooting legs. You look at the numbers. Jokic shot pretty decently, I guess you could say, 6 of 14. Jeremy Grant, 4 of 8 as well in Game 1. But outside of that, it was a tough night for Jamal Murray, only 5 of 15, 2 of 8 from three-point range. The team as a whole, 9 of 36 from the perimeter, 25% from beyond the arc. So you could tell they just didn't have their shooting legs, didn't have the energy in Game 1, and you could tell right from the get-go that it was probably going to be a difficult road for them. Whereas the Clippers just, outstanding offensively, as good as I've seen the Clippers play offensively in these, one of their best offensive games of the playoffs. There was one game, the 150-point game that they had against Dallas. That was pretty impressive, but this was probably their next best game offensively of these playoffs. I mean, you got 29 points from Kawhi Leonard, which is standard fare for him. But what was impressive was you got 18 from Marcus Morris. You got Markieff Morris, rather. You got Paul George with 19 points. You got you got Lou Williams with 10 points. So you got all kinds of guys here for the Clippers that stepped up. You got Marcus Morris, 18 points, Paul George, 19, and Lou Williams with 10. How about Montrezl Harrell? Of course, just got named 6th Man of the Year award winner on yesterday in terms of the NBA this season, and he poured in 15 points on 5 of 11 shooting. So, if the Clippers are going to get your Marcus Morrises and Lou Williams and Montrez giving you that kind of offense, that's trouble for the Denver Nuggets in this series, and that's going to be the issue for Denver moving forward. All that being said, Michael Malone talked about it. A lot of their players talked about it after the game. We felt we were in a little bit of trouble, fatigue in Game 1. We expect to be a whole lot better in Game 2, and I honestly do think the Denver Nuggets will be a whole lot better. And we have to sort of pull back a little bit. As impressive as the Clippers were in Game 1, could this be a series where they just roll in every single game? Yes, but this is still a Denver team that's capable. They are. And we're not talking about a price range here where the Clippers, can win the game, even modestly and cover the number. They got to win the game and win the game going away to cover this number, laying 9 points again like they were in Game 1. I'm willing for this game to buy in a little bit to the zigzag theory. I'm not saying Denver's going to win the game, but you're getting 9 points with them off a blowout loss. Now they're going to have more time to put in a game plan, make adjustments, which they quite frankly didn't have. I mean, the coaching staff of the Nuggets, players, they basically had zero downtime to get themselves prepared for a Clippers team that certainly at the defensive end of the court is going to bring a whole lot more to the table than the Utah Jazz did. Now you afford Denver that opportunity to make some adjustments, have a better defensive game plan. I think they will. There's some things that are correctable. Are the Clippers going to shoot as well as, they did in Game 1 and crazy 57%, 42 from the perimeter? Probably not. There's some things that you got to like still for the Nuggets. The fact that, you only got out-rebounded by 5. You held your own on the glass in Game 1, even though you got blown out. That's definitely something you can take with you as a positive going into Game 2. And also 15 turnovers. That's correctable. You can't, treat the basketball that poorly during the course of a game when you're playing an elite team, especially at the defensive end, like the LA Clippers. So I think Denver's going to be looking at those couple things, to try to value the basketball more, look for better shots. And they all agreed, players and Coach Mike Malone after the game, we didn't move the ball enough. It was one shot, one bad three-pointer, and one and done. And that was kind of our offensive, and we just ruined our offensive flow with that. So I think you're going to see Denver try to get back to, sharing the ball a little bit. Jamal Murray's now going to get an opportunity to replenish and have much more energy, I think, than he had in game one, considering how much weight was on his shoulders to pull Denver through that series against Utah. I don't think Denver's winning this series, and they may have a tough time winning a game or two even at this rate, but they don't have to win this game to cash a ticket. You're getting 9. You're going to get a better game from Denver. And the Clippers showed you in the first round against Dallas. They won game 1, and then in game 2, they didn't follow it up. They sort of, I don't know if they rested on their laurels, they got complacent, whatever the case may be, but they had a really bad game 2 against Dallas. They didn't follow up the game 1 win. They lost game 2 outright as favorites. I'm not saying they lose outright, but to me, Denver will be better. Clippers really can't play a better game than they did in game 1, whereas Denver can play a whole lot better. I'm going to go with Denver here, plus the 9 points in game 2. Again, not saying they win, but I do think they're competitive. Make this a game. And as for the total, 222. Again, just like I talked about with the Clippers-Dallas series, it was Clippers cover under in game 1 of that series. That combination came through, I think, and then it was Dallas and over in game 2. That's exactly what I'm going here. I'm going Denver, and I'm also going to go over the total because I think Denver's going to shoot better. It's not much worse you can do than what they did in game 1, especially Jamal Murray with his 5 of 15 effort and just 12 points from him. He'll be a lot better. So I think we're going to get a higher scoring game. And let's not forget, the Denver Nuggets, who shot miserably, they rested their starters in the fourth quarter of a blowout game, and yet that game 1 still almost got over the total. It ended up with 217 points, just falling 6 points short of the total. I think this one gets over the total, and keep in mind, game 1 total was 223.5. This one's been lowered a little bit to 222, so a little bit of value. I'm going to go with Denver plus 9, and I'm also going to go with Denver, LA Clippers over 222. Those are my 2 plays for the Odds HQ Saturday NBA betting preview video. Nuggets Clippers game 2, Saturday, September the 5th. I'm Ian Cameron. Thank you for watching. Reminder to check out odds.com every day for great sports betting content, and the Odds HQ YouTube channel for live shows and videos daily. I'll be back with you tomorrow on Sunday for another Odds HQ NBA betting preview video.